Hello, in this video, the purpose from it is to kind of discuss the language between common terms that are used and sometimes they're not used correctly. A variable, a term, constant, coefficient, degree, and the main one that's usually talked about is the variable. So the variable in math is usually, let's say here in math, usually we use letters. We can say symbols, but letters. And most of times they are the ones toward the end of the alphabet, which is like X, Y, Z, for example. And what is the difference between a variable and a coefficient? So the variable is represents something that has a magnitude or can be represented with a numerical value, and also it represents something that varies. That's why it's called a variable, right? And a coefficient is a number that is multiplied by a variable. So let's say 2 times x plus 5. This is an expression in which x stands for the variable and the coefficient is the 2. So the coefficient is the number multiplied by the variable or variables, because you could have more than one. And let's see what else. A 2 times x makes something called a term. So we'll say this is, let's say for example, the first term. And this term has a degree, which is the highest, which is the exponent, or the sum of exponents. In this case, it's 1. So the degree here is 1, because it's just 2x power 1. However, let's give an example. Let's say I have 3x squared times y. So what is the degree here? You will do 2 plus 1, which is 3. All right? So that's how you identify the degree. And you use it if it's a polynomial. For example, you go to the highest degree, the highest exponent, and that's going to make the degree. So for example, a quadratic, you have multiple terms, each one has a degree, but the highest will be square, and you could have one that has a degree of 1, and the constant would be a degree of 0. So yeah, so this is another term. So what is the degree of this one? There is no variable there, so the degree would be 0. And the last thing to mention, of course, what's a constant? So 5 here is the constant. And I hope this will clarify these ideas. So when you are interested in, for example, lines that have y equal, let's say 15x plus 10. Let's say y equal 15x plus 10. This could represent an income equation. Starting a shift would be $10 just to show up, and $15 an hour after that, or for example a mileage of a cab or something. So that's just to get the idea. X is a variable. In this case, it's an independent variable, and y is a variable, but it's a dependent variable. It depends on x. So if it's income, then it depends on the hours. More hours, more income. And in this case, there is increase or a direct link between the two. 15 is a coefficient because it's multiplied by x. 10 is a constant because it's just a constant. And when we look at the degree, if you're interested into all these details, you can check. But plus will be, of course, the operator, which stands for the operation that is happening here. Okay, thank you.